Hey readers, it's Lori, and I am coming to you with my first day of Vlogmas or Bookmas content. I think I'm going to call it Bookmas this year. I've been filming a few things recently, but I am officially starting the Bookmas process today, but I will not be posting a video every day. I don't think I did that last year either. Just now and again, when I have the time to be able to do that, I will pop one up. So it will just be a Bookmas video with the title of whatever it is I'm talking about, which today is a pile of Bookmas possibilities. I have a stack of books that are Christmas related and that I might get to this month. I have some other reading plans as well, but these are more Christmas focused. So I wanted to just bring those forward to you and see at the end of the month what I ended up reading. A couple of these I've read before, and a couple of them I have not. So let's get started. This one is a Nora Roberts, First Impressions. This came out in the 80s, maybe 1984. I haven't had it that long, but it is old. It is definitely older. I love this cover. This is about a man named Vance who was a wealthy businessman, and he was really kind of gold digging and spending a lot of money and living the life. But he decides that's not for him anymore. He wants to get out of that rat race, and he goes to a small town and tells people there that he's a carpenter because he does have those skills. And he just tries to blend in with this little community and stay away from women. But of course, that's not going to happen. So I've really been into these kind of Christmas love stories lately, and this is one that I really want to consider as my pile of possibilities. This I've had for a number of years. This is The Greatest Gift, written by Philip Van Doren Stern, and this is the book that the movie It's a Wonderful Life was based on. This is very short. I do try to read it every other year or so. It's just adorable, and this one is set in 1943, so a lot of these are kind of, a little bit older. All right, this one I have never read, but I really want to read it one of these years, and I think this is the year. I love Wally Lamb. I've read a lot of books by Wally Lamb. This is set in 1964. You follow the children that are at this parochial school in Three Rivers, Connecticut. And the things that they do in school are very regimented, and their classes are predictable, and they absolutely follow the rules for all the teachers until a substitute teacher from Quebec arrives. And they also have a feisty Russian student. Things change, and Felix maybe has to grow up a little bit as he adapts to the changes in his classroom. Sounds fun to me. This is a Maeve Binchy title. This year it will be different. This is a stunning new work that brings the magic and spirit of Christmas in 15 stories filled with Maeve Binchy's trademark wit, charm, sheer storytelling genius. I think this would be fun, and I could probably get it finished very, very quickly. I have read Matchless by Gregory Maguire, a Christmas story. This is a retelling of The Little Match Girl. I read this last year, maybe, or the year before, but it's also very short and easy read, and something that I definitely would want to read again. This was written in 2008, and this one is adding a different dimension to the story, why intertwining the Match Girl's tale with a young boy named Frederick. So there's two characters in this book, and I really did enjoy that one. This is The Christmas Murder Game by Alexandra Benedict, and I got this last Christmas. I'm pretty sure I started to read it. I got a little bogged down with all the other things that were happening, and I was a little like focused on the game and not the book itself, the plot itself. So here's where it gets kind of convoluted. This is a murder story, but it's also a game. So you have prompts to try to win the games. The first game, you find anagrams of all these things. The second game, you find the titles of 12 country house mysteries throughout the book. That I probably could figure out, but I would like to read it again. But I think probably I should read it as a book first and then go back and try to find the other little clues. This one is an uncorrected proof I got from a little free library a while ago. I definitely hauled this when I got it, but I never read it. So this is about a girl whose parents divorced, as I remember, and yes, they're separated, and she's really upset because they usually have this great grand Christmas, and so her mom designs a trip to Europe over winter vacation, and there's a special package when she gets to her destination, and her dad has given her a bunch of things to unwrap and to go to do 12 dares in landmarks in the countries that they're staying in. This has really sounded like it's great. Marissa Burt wrote it. I've never read anything by this author, but it just has a great plot to me, so I'd love to get to that. All right, this is just up my street. We bought this not long ago, and you're not going to be surprised. Look at these dogs. 12 Dogs of Christmas by Susan Wiggs. This novel is about a woman whose dog gets really sick at Christmas one year, and she takes him to the emergency vet. And I think when she gets home, she discovers, or somehow in her car, she finds a pair of women's underwear and realizes that her husband is having another relationship outside of their marriage. And so she's obviously very upset. So, and I think it's about a year later, they've been separated or divorced, but she's kind of, trying to find her footing, do different things. And she's asked to, or volunteers to, transport a bunch of dogs to rescue places like we do with our fosters, although we don't transport them. So she transports them from Houston to Avalon to begin a Merry Christmas with their forever families. But something happens when she gets to Avalon. She has to stay there, and I'm pretty sure that there's a love story here too. But I think it'd be great. And I'm curious about the Lost and Found Bookshop, which is what's blurbed at the top. So that might end up being something I get. The Christmas Appeal is one I have read. It's also very tiny. You can see a theme here, but I would love to reread this. I love the Appeal and the Christmas Appeal. So far, they are my favorites, although I am in the process of reading The Examiner, so we'll see. But I did love this. A Christmas play, the same troupe that you've been following in the Appeal. Of course, something terrible happens, and the Santa is found dead. I know, I hate to say it, but it's true. And then the last one is The Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. This is one of my special editions. It is illustrated. It is the original illustrations by Arthur Rackham. It's just a newer copy. This one was published more recently. I absolutely adore this story. I read it often as well. Most Christmases I spend reading something along these lines, but Arthur Rackham's illustrations are just quite something. I just love them. And we usually watch this again as well. So probably I will be reading this. One of these years, I'm going to read this to one of the kids, or read this with one of the kids, the littler kids, but I'm not sure Maddox is up for it yet. I think Adeline probably is, though. But yeah, one of my favorites. So that is my pile of holiday possibilities for me to read over this holiday season. And if I get to them all, I will let you know. That would be a pretty hefty TBR, wouldn't it? I do have some other things I'm reading as well that are also Christmas related, so I'm excited about them. And I'd love to know what you're reading this Christmas, what's on your pile of possibilities, and if you've read any of these, or if there's something that you read frequently every season, let me know that too. And share your decor if you'd like, or any of the things that you want me to know about your holiday season. Thanks so much for joining me, and as always, happy reading. And now, happy holidays. Bye.